Hello everyone, welcome to episode 4 of Shonen Shorts, where today I'll be going over the March 1st issue of Weekly Shonen Jump. So this week I read One Piece, JJK Modulo, Gone Run Egg, Underdoctor, and Alien Headbutt. So for One Piece today, One Piece honestly, well not today, but yesterday, was a really good chapter. It was phenomenal. Like, okay, so first, we see as Loki ends up saving the kids with his full beast form devil fruit, and with this, he ends up dropping them off, and then Summer, seeing that the kids have returned and now they're going to try and defend their parents from him, is like, I'm going to kill the kids. So he goes to kill the kids, but Zoro ends up defending him, blocking his shots. And then Luffy absolutely blasts him with this new attack. He grabs a lightning bolt from the sky, then puts Haki on his fist and throws it at Summers and obliterates Summers. It's called Gum Gum Dawn Thor Rifle. And yeah, he obliterates Summers. Like, Summers' face is like disintegrated. But I mean, he's regenerative, so we know Luffy didn't kill him because Luffy can't do damage to those who regen yet. But yeah, we see this. And Luffy tells Loki to go deal with the dream monsters that have been summoned by Killingham's Devil Fruit ability. So he does this, and he uses an attack called Thorheim on them and just obliterates them. But also this chapter, that's kind of like the last big thing that happens in our timeline. But we also get a revelation that the original wielder of Loki's Devil Fruit, which is the Nidhogg Beast Zoan type Devil Fruit, when it's a mythical, and it turns a person into a dragon, but the dragon depends on the size of the individual. So an ancient giant will have a larger dragon, a normal giant will have a smaller dragon, and then a human will have the smallest dragon. But yeah, so Loki has a massive dragon, his Nidhogg, and we also see that the first wielder of it was the god of war of Elbath, who actually fought Nika. And we see that Ratatoskr, which is the squirrel that is now Ragnir, actually fought on his side. So Ragnir was his hammer, but Ratatoskr was the squirrel. But after the death of the god of war, the Ratatoskr and Ragnir formed, and now we have Ragnir of the modern day. So we have the squirrel. So I don't really know how that works, because it wasn't really a devil fruit consumption. I guess Ratatoskr can just do that, because he was like some ice spirit or something like that too. So, but yeah. So then we move on to JJK Modulo, where we see the after effects of Maru scattering the colors of the souls, so everyone can live in harmony. We see as the cursed spirits are starting to disappear. We see as Dabura is returned to their planet, where he ends up finding the dude who has his sister held hostage. Speho is his sister. He ends up killing him, then becoming chieftain of the Deskunte, but then he's like, you know what, just bury this dude, and then I no longer want to be chieftain anymore. So that happens, and we also see as very powerful cursed spirits like Maharaga disappear, and we see that Yuka is okay now, because whatever cursed energy cancer she has is no longer with her. But yeah, we see her, and at the end of the chapter, we also see Maru on trial for what he did, because now, since the Kalians don't have the same color spirit as the Sumerians, the Romulians, and stuff like that, they will now try and eat their children after a while, the Kalians that weren't alive at the moment. But yeah, so he's on trial for that. But then at the end, we see as Yuji is walking through a storehouse, and we see a little panda, like the character panda. So I don't know where they're going to go with that, like the next chapter, which is probably going to be the last. And we have Gone Run Egg. Gone Run Egg was really good. We see the Liberation Army going up against Reigoku's forces. We see the two generals are finally ready to go against Reigoku. And we see as Gonron and some of the lower officers, we see them fighting. We see that Gonron has consumed 50 Drahark hearts over this time period, so he's getting very powerful. And during the 3-year time skip, he consumed, I believe it was 50... He consumed 57 during the battle, and he had 103, I think, in total. So, 46. But yeah. So 46 over about 46 over 3-year time span. But yeah, so we see that, and then we see as Gonron's fighting, eventually something comes flying in, and it lands by him, and it is the head of one of the higher-ups who are fighting Reigoku. So we know that Reigoku is powerful, because he beat people who had consumed over 100 Drakkar hearts pretty quickly. But then we move on to Underdoctor, and Underdoctor was really good. We see more of, we actually learned the name of the deaf person, his name is Shilu, and we see Shilu's mom was killed in a criminal incident, and he was left orphaned at the age of 6, but then his grandpa found him, the Grim Reaper assassin, and he ends up raising him, training in martial arts, and we learned that he lost his ability to speak due to this trauma. So what Haji did in the previous chapter, hit him in the neck, was actually release his vocal cords so he could speak again. He started speaking, and eventually Shilu reveals to Haji that he needs his help because the grandpa is dying of some type of cancer, so he's like, come on, heal him for me. And we see as Haji and Shiwa get their money and all that from Leon Ya, who's tied up over there. But yeah, they end up getting the money, then they end up going to the granddad's house, and they're like, okay, he has very bad cancer, he's going to die like very soon. But he's like, okay, I can help him at least heal up his eye so he can see you one last time. So he heals up his eye, so the granddad can look at Shilu, and he can hear Shilu's voice, and Shilu's not talking, and that was really sweet. And we move on to Alien Headbutt, and Alien Headbutt was really good because we see as Uga, and I believe his friend's name is Sukami, something like that. We see as they end up fighting against like this big alien, and it was just really interesting, kind of a good fight. The final move was pretty cool and all that, the GTO or whatever it is. But yeah, well, it's GTH. But yeah, that's all there really is for the March 1st issue of Weekly Shonen Jump. So thank you very much for watching.